Alright, I'm back. So while part one is uploading, I'm just gonna finish part two right now. I left off, I believe, Terrorist. So track number 12, Bobby Did It, Spanish Fly. Yeah, Spanish Fly. Featuring Islor, Timbo King, Ghostface as well, and Jamie Summers. That song was pretty cool. Pretty cool song right there. Um, very cool beat, by the way. Track number 13, Handwriting on the Wall, featuring Ras Kass. Fucking love that song right there, in my opinion. Ras Kass, definitely one of my favorite MCs of all time. I definitely need to get my hands on this fucking Soul on Ice album. Um, Very hard to come by. That album kind of goes for. I mean, it used to go very. It used to be very expensive, but now I've seen it. They've kind of dropped the price down on that now. Like I think the most I've seen it was like $25. So maybe, depending on if my money is good, I might cop it. But it is what it is. I'm not trying to. I'm not in any rush to get it. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Whatever. But yeah. I've always loved Ras Kass's chemistry with the Wu and shit like that, cause he did his one song in the indie culture album. I forgot the name of it. That I fucking loved and shit. But anyway, RZA said this very dope line and shit that I had to write down. He said, "The last starfighter, my thoughts make the sun shine brighter. I bust in the bitch's mouth to make a teeth seem wider. Um, Roam like the Space Jones through all time zones. Your face get blown. I make home Bobby. I'll fuck Grace Jones." That's kind of ill though. Track number 14, "Kiss of the Black Widow" featuring Old Dirty Bastard. That's a very weird song. I think what I got from that song was like RZA was like he starts off himself being in the hospital, and it's revealed that he got there after like a very sexual encounter with this girl, and she I think like cursed him or some shit. And then yeah, it's like very sexual, like has all these undertones and shit like that. So yeah, that's a very it's cool, but it's like a very weird song too. Track number 15, "Slow Grind Italian." Um, like again, self-explanatory. Track number 16, "My Lovin' Is Digi" featuring Force MDs and Miss Roxy. You guys should know who the Force MDs are. I mentioned them prior in my Iron Man review I did on the Ghostface album. Yeah, so they're just 80s R&B group and shit like that. That song, low key, definitely reminds me of something you definitely hear from Iron Man, and it's definitely a braggadocio song and stuff like that. I love the beat on that, and I love how he definitely used like a lot of imagery on that song. Very cool song. One of my favorite songs off the album. Track number 17, "Domestic Violence" featuring Jamie Summers and U-God. That's gotta be like the darkest song off this album. Self-explanatory. It's just him and his girl just fucking arguing, using like fucking verbal abuse with one another and shit like that. Um, yeah, and I believe he produced a short video. I mean, a short like film, like a long like music video, as I should say, on that song and shit like that. So yeah, that song. I'm gonna read you some of the lyrics and stuff too. Like he'll say some shit like, talking about who you gonna leave, then bitch leave, what the fuck you waiting for, hit the door, I ain't taking this shit no more. Spending all my cream on Gucci, Phillies, and Coach. Before you move to my lab, bitch, I ain't never seen a roach. Stains on my carpet, bathrooms more like a fish market. Take all the space in my closet, where the fuck's your logic? Like, he's just going in on this girl. And Loki is a very creative kind of song, because he's actually bringing light to like domestic violence in that nature and shit like that. So I kind of commend him for that. But like, because it kind of shows you that domestic violence kind of works in both ways and shit like that. Because I'm not trying to be like controversial right now. I'm just gonna speak for facts. Like sometimes like females abuse men the same way a man abuses women. It doesn't have to be physically, even though sometimes they might provoke it at times. but like mentally, like shit, like verbally. But that's another story for different. I know I don't want to get inside too heavy in that topic and shit, but yeah, domestic violence, very cool song. Then you have Project Talk featuring who's that feature? Does that feature anybody? That features Kinetic Nine. Yeah, that song was alright. And the last three songs, Lab Drunk, Fuck What You Think, and Daily Routine. Those songs were pretty cool. I could have really done without them songs in my opinion, but yeah. Other than that, shit, okay. Where do I start? Let me see. Let's see. This is not your ordinary Wu-Tang album. It's really not your ordinary Wu-Tang album. He went above and beyond with this shit. And a lot of people kind of say like this was really the beginning of the end for the Wu-Tang. I kind of feel like it's a bit of an over-exaggeration. I can understand why people say that because they weren't used to this RZA like, but he kind of like previewed the sound a little bit with the Wu-Tang Forever album, which again a lot of people love that album. But when people mention this album, it's like a lot of people don't like it. Like they kind of talk shit about it, which it all kind of comes down to like the overindulgence of the album. Like personally, I feel like the songs here, this album is very long. But my biggest problem with this album, in my opinion, is the fact that as a concept album, it does not feel like a concept album. And that's my huge problem because, he went through all this thing with the whole Bobby Digital shit, but then me listening to this album, it's just like a ordinary Wu-Tang album just trying to experiment. And even I looked up some shit and I never knew that Kool Keith, you guys know Kool Keith, member of the Ultramagnetic MCs, goes by a lot of different alliances and shit like that. He basically went after RZA on the First Come First Serve album, on the booklet and shit like that. He said next album is gonna be called Robbie Analog, like, cause he felt like RZA was trying to bite his style. Cause if you guys know Kool Keith, he's always known for that out of this world, like tripped out shit like that, Especially if you listen to albums like Dr. Octagonologist, of course the Black Elvis, Sex Style, you know what I'm getting at. So yeah, what else about this album? Yeah, but then just because I've mentioned a lot of kind of like mediocre things about the album, it does have some very strong points I like to point out. For one, I like the fact that RZA did keep it in-house and stuff like that, because as opposed to the Takal 2000 album for Method Man, which is an album I did love, there was slowly like added outside producers and features. He still kept it, gave more emphasis on the affiliates like the Killer Army, of course, Takitha, and so on and so on. So yeah, that's why I praise the album for that, because it really felt like a Wu album. I also praise, the production as well, because as much as I kind of criticize the production, in a way, this album and DMX's and Dark as Hell is hot. But I know a lot of people are gonna say that the Sweet Swiss Beats kind of revived, had more of an organic, keyboard-driven sound, as that kind of put a death nail to the Bad Boy sound in a way. But this album kind of, in a way, had more to do with it. It brought more of an emphasis to it, because the production is what I know most people have a huge problem with as well. So yeah, cause I kind of felt like it did break down doors, like how people are now using more or less samples and shit. and stuff like that. So yeah. What else? What else about this album? Yeah, I believe that's it, man. I believe that's it. And this is not my favorite Wu solo album, but it is probably one of the most adventurous, as I would say. I feel like RZA definitely did his thing on this album, and the rest of his discography is kind of hit or miss for me. Besides the Afro Samurai soundtrack, I did kind of like that one, but if you need to start, if you want to, I'm putting it to you this way. I would recommend this album, but you have to be a really, really Wu head to really appreciate this album. But if you just come into the Wu-Tang Clan for the first time, I would hold off on this album and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's the best way to put it. Other than that, RZA, Bobby Digital and Stereo, released in 1998. Must have in your collection. Peace. Thank y'all for watching.